All right, welcome back to another episode of Divinely Inspired. Give me a second. I have to connect my Bluetooth, so I'm not sure if you guys can actually hear me or not. All right, so this is part 2 of 3 of the question that I asked yesterday, I believe it was, with the triangle. So today's video is going to be about um, if both of you like a particular individual, but the said individual likes you and you like them, but your friend also likes them, what do? Do you talk to them? Do you talk to them about it, or do you ask them for permission to, go out with said person? So this is, like I said, this is part 2. So I got one more, and I'm actually going to throw in a middle one at some point because I have something that came to my attention yesterday that I kind of want to touch on too, because that one was a very interesting question. But we're going to get started. So with this, we're starting with, as yesterday, y'all know I did if they like your friend, you like them, blah, 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 blah. Well, this one is the opposite. So do you ask your friend for permission to date said person, or do you just have a conversation? Personally, for me, you just have a conversation. At the end of the day, that person has a choice whether they want to continue to be friends with you or not, which is a very sweet, like short, sweet answer to said thing. But this can go on between family members as well. Whereas it goes to the next thing. I could just add it here. Whereas if someone is friends with, like if one of your friends stop being friends with somebody else, do you follow suit? Do you stop being friends with said friend because your friend isn't a friend anymore? Now, a lot of people say it depends on the dynamic, it depends on the relationship, it depends. No, it really, yes, those factors play in, but when we are looking at like the bare bones of a situation, just like the triangle thing that I was talking about, when we're looking at the bare bones of the situation, are you abandoning yourself for someone else? Regardless if it's a family member or a friend, a lover, it could be anybody. Are you abandoning yourself for these people? Because as much as you want to love somebody, you shouldn't abandon yourself for anybody. So if I have a friend and let me make this clear going forward. When I'm talking from my point of view, because you know how when people be trying to do like the them and the they and then this person and that. No, I'm just gonna talk from my point of view because it's just a lot easier for me to get it out. Not saying that this is necessarily what's happening to me, but I'm putting it in terms where I can understand them to convey them to you. Thank you, Spirit, for putting that into perspective for me, because I keep forgetting to tell you guys that. But when you are thinking about like hanging out with friends, with family, and say, for example, like, in my family, we're like, oh, don't talk to this person. Do I not talk to that person because everybody else agrees not to talk to that person? Well, no, because your relationship is different than the relationship that your friend has with that person. So you start to abandon yourself when you start to go, okay, well, this person don't like them, so I'm not gonna like them, and I'm not. But what has that person done to you? Now, not to say that you can't learn from that situation. Now, if that person is treating that person, some kind of way, and you're watching it, make sure that you are watching the entire situation between both folks, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you are only like taking on behalf of the friend that you feel, the closest to you, whereas you are actually wanting to evaluate the friendship and the relationship that you have personally with that person. So you could lose out on a really good friendship, relationship, familyship, whatever, by, just judging said persons on what the other person is seeing, because it can be a challenge to take a step back and hear, when you're listening to all sides of the story, because you want to be like, oh yeah, oh, I'm with my friend, oh yeah, oh, I'm with my friend. But at the end of the day, you don't know what your friend has also done to said person to cause them to feel the way that they feel. So when you are talking to someone about their situation, when you are going through these kinds of situations, it's always good to take a step back and actually listen objectively. Make sure that you're not looking at it through a one contact lens is for your friend, and then the other contact lens is, somewhere else. It's like, make sure you're focused on the entire situation, because what you don't want to do is put yourself in a situation where if somebody comes to you and goes, oh, I thought you guys were friends, blah 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 blah, and you go, well, no, how is that going to make you feel? Not saying to the person, but how is that going to make you feel with your integrity that you allowed someone else's thoughts and feelings to drive your actions and motivations? Because when we are creating unconditional love in relationships, it is all about being able to be seeing things from an objective point of view, but also being able to connect with everybody involved in the situation. But you cannot connect if you're constantly trying to people please, or you are, oh, good Lord, how did you get up my sleeve? Get down. How can you effectively uh, how can you effectively show unconditional love if you have a, what is it, rose colored glasses on in the situation because of whoever is involved? I do actually have a situation, which is crazy, because I was like, this is not for me and my family, but actually I do have a situation where I had to convey some information to a group of people in my family, and I was told that not to tell another family member. And before I could like even finish the conversation or finish my statement, I was already on the fact of, you know, I'm not doing that. Like, what you have between you and said person is between you and said person. It has nothing to do with me. Like, I am just a byproduct of whatever is happening. I come to relay information and move on. That's it. I'm not here to play into anyone else's, like, oh, I don't like this person. I will never do that. And if you guys ever catch me, like, for those of you who have connected with me outside, like in real life, it was the IRL, then there's a reason for that, because I don't just enter everybody's life. I enter people's lives when they are ready. Okay, when they are ready to like open themselves up, when they are ready to like see things in a different way and start challenging those mental beliefs, because I don't think orthodoxly about a lot of things. So with this whole like triangle situation, it's kind of the same effect. I can have a conversation with my friend and tell them like, hey, person likes me, I like them, we're going to pursue it. What I am doing is I am making them aware. I'm not asking for permission, because number one, I don't have to ask for permission to live my life. And I keep trying to tell y'all that you don't got to ask permission for anybody to do anything in your life. You can do what you want to do. Mind you, make sure that what you're choosing to do is integral and close to your heart, because your heart is what so it matters. Like, you're gonna have to sit with yourself at the end of the day. And I had to tell my kids yesterday, you gotta learn to be sitting alone and like learn to be, on your own, because at the end of the day, when you pass on, you're the only one that's gonna go. No one's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go with you. No. You, even if somebody decided to go with you, they still gonna be on their own when their soul leaves the body to regain its consciousness in the ether. Like, it doesn't work like, oh, I'm gonna go, they're gonna go with me. So making your own individual choices is what you need to be doing for yourself right now. And unconditional love is exactly what it says. It's love without conditions. It's understanding where each person is. So you are talking to your friend and you're like, hey, oh yeah, we're gonna date, and your friend's like, well, I don't think that's a good idea, I don't like it. I'm sorry that you don't agree, you don't like it. Um, do you want to part ways? Do you like, what is it that you would make you feel more comfortable? Because at the end of the day, I'm not giving up, And people, and if you, when I talk to a lot of people, they felt more like, oh, that's just rude. Oh, that I wouldn't do that to my friend. My friend's gonna always, no, your friend won't always be there, because if it comes to a situation with you and them versus them and something and you and something, they're gonna choose themselves. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted at all, because just because you would choose the latter doesn't mean that they will. And you could be friends forever, and you will get blindsided if you want to. You have to, and even if you know that person and you know, oh, they're not like that, they're not like that. If it comes down to the wire, they will choose themselves, as they should, just like you should choose yourself. Which is why when you start to feel guilty about choosing yourself, that is something that maybe needs to be worked on in solitude, or with a therapist, or with someone that can help you see yourself in your wholeness, because no one should ever drive your decisions but yourself. And as long as you are looking to be integral, then it shouldn't be an issue with anybody else, because it will be easier to let go, because you're acting on integrity and not maliciousness. So my answer, or my response to the second half, part 2 of 3 of this question is, I would have a conversation, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to make the choice that's best for me. But I'm going to also be respectful of my friend and whatever decision that they make as far as our relationship goes, knowing how they feel about said person. So don't expect me. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you watching this video and we friends or we know each other, don't expect me to be like, oh, you like this. I'm not gonna. Oh, you don't want to talk to them. I'm not that kind of person. I am not that kind of person. You will not catch me being that kind of person. I will always do my best, because sometimes I do slip up. Everybody, I'm not perfect, just like anybody else is not perfect. I do slip up at times. I will always do my best to make the most integral decision for myself, so that when I go home, I'm pleased with myself. Not pleased with the decision I made for somebody else, but the decision I made for myself. And that's what matters at the end of the day. And that's what I'm hoping that you guys can gain, is that having that unconditional love for yourself, you can start to have unconditional love for other people. But if you don't understand what unconditional love looks like for yourself, it's going to be really challenging to understand it coming from other people. And understanding people's psyches is just a matter of listening to what they say, how they respond to questions, how do they, react to certain questions that you ask. All of that stuff matters. So pay attention to all of that when you are creating new relationships, when you are in, and I want to put this out there too, because lately I've been kind of like dipping my toe into some relationships, and then pulling back, and then pulling in and pulling that. It's not, I'm one of those people that I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. Okay. And for me, it takes time for me to process information, and I have to process alone. And it's difficult for me to create relationships, because when I'm not eating, like right now, this is a vulnerable moment. Vulnerability is strength, and I will always tell you that. I haven't been doing the greatest with eating. So when I'm in relationships, and if I'm not eating, my brain goes to, oh, these people are really my friends. They don't really like me. They don't really care about me. They don't really this. They're not really showing up for me. They're not, but that's not the case. So being aware of how you love yourself, and it will definitely show you how you love other people around you. It will definitely show you a part of yourself that maybe you have been missing. So remember, I'm a different kind of person, and it takes a very different kind of person to deal with me, because I'm not the most normal, I guess the most normalist of normal. Which is why it was so difficult for me to find people to connect with, because I'm not the most normal of the normal. And even when I'm talking to people now about intuition, like one on one, the looks, especially when I tell them that spirit talks directly to me, like even now I can hear them talking to me. They're like, you got to do another video on a different one. But I'm also working on another project, so to speak. And so they got me like all over the place. I am a thinker. I am not logical, but I am a thinker. Oh, look, I can see the comments. Holy moly, I can't usually see the comments. Hi, Trish. yes, you should be yourself and love yourself no matter what. Like, that is literally the goal. No matter what people say, no matter what people do, you still love yourself. You still take care of you. And that is something that I am not doing right now. Oh, that's something I'm not really doing right now, guys. I'm gonna be completely vulnerable and honest. Like, I am having a hard time, like, eating and making sure that I'm actually doing for myself, which is another reason that I tend to self isolate is because I can't give my best if I'm not feeling my best. But I'm not feeling my best because I'm not paying attention to doing my best. So it's a whole thing, y'all. It's a whole thing. But I gotta get ready to get back to work. Uh, but I just wanted to come on because I told myself I'm going to do these lives because people need to hear. I do want to talk about my dream. I am going to do another one on my dream and my vision that I've been having. I had a vision this morning, and I've been having one almost every day. I will be sharing those eventually. That's like that's something I gotta work on too, guys. But anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to unconditionally love yourself because you can't do that for nobody else. You can't give it to yourself. And I don't even think I did my thing at the beginning. Welcome to Divinely Inspired. I'm your host, Inspire, here to inspire you back to love through inspired thoughts and conversations from the divine. Hey, y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll holler at y'all later.